of honor after 30 years, Mr. Terry Korotki. And we're going to let people mingle and Terry mingle a little bit and help yourself to the food. You probably haven't yet, have you? No, that's
no time for us.
That's right.
And the presentations will start at 2. So Terry has an appointment at 2 he's going to miss. Yes. We'll look after him. So, go ahead.
Oh, yay! Oh, yay!
We need Terry up in that chair.
Would the guest of honor please come to this chair?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Logel, council and staff, honored guests, I bring a message of the greatest importance. Terry Korotki has retired. And a ceremonial send-off is required. Many years ago, dinosaurs ruled the earth. Then the Ice Age came, and as the glaciers receded, the hills of Northumberland County were formed. Legend has it that shortly thereafter, Terry was hired by the town. Or at least that's how long it seems he's worked here. One of the major challenges Terry faced was the amalgamation of the township to become Alnwick Haldimand. You could say he handled it beautifully. To reflect on Terry's influence in shaping our municipality, consider the many services we now enjoy. The fire department, the water system, and the Wicklow boat launch. You fish, don't you, Terry? Was this future planning? Then there were the parades. I do hope Mr. Korotki will be honored as a Grand Marshal to either celebrate Canada or perhaps welcome Santa to Grafton. With a municipal career that has lasted over 30 years, I'm surprised Terry didn't have a smartphone surgically attached to his body. Now he has the luxury of only picking up the receiver when he wants to. Call display will be a critical feature during the coming months. Welcome to retirement, Terry. I foresee mostly family-imposed deadlines in your future. And now to officially end the cry, God save the Queen. Hear, hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome this afternoon. My name is Al Mann, Fire Chief here in Alnwick, Haldimand, and I'll serve as your Master of Ceremonies for the afternoon. First of all, I want to thank our crier, Liam Craig, for a job well done. Just so you know, for future reference, Terry already had the call display thing figured out. I'd like to start off with calling...
Thank you all for being here. It's a great crowd, and I'm sure Terry will appreciate this for a long time to come. Terry, August 27th, 2018 has finally arrived, and you've been preparing for this date for some time now, making sure that all the things that had to be completed, your bucket list, was finished before today. And we are all proud and happy to say that this, your final mission, has been accomplished. Terry started with the Township of Haldimand on January 1st, 1989 as the Clerk Treasurer. During your time with us, you have had numerous positions in many departments. In fact, when I look back through it, the only jobs I can't find you having anything to do with was Public Works and the Arena Manager.
Those were the easy ones.
And then I got to thinking, I know I've seen you out cleaning off the steps, and I'm sure you've been down at the arena cleaning out the players' benches and that type of stuff too. So he's done everything in Alnwick Haldimand. Some of the big accomplishments that you have directly been responsible for include creation of the Haldimand Fire Department, the Municipal Library, 2 new fire stations, plus the emergency facility currently being under construction in Roseneath, the Wicklow boat launch, Grafton communal water, new housing permits, and most recently the construction, including the Glens of Antrim subdivision. No doubt, probably the biggest and most challenging has been the amalgamation of the former townships of Alnwick and Haldimand, creating what we proudly have today, Haldimand Township. More recently, you initiated the township's first strategic plan, which is moving the township forward using different avenues, but all pointed in exactly the same direction. Terry, the staff, the residents of Haldimand, your council, the staff at Northumberland County, and all your contacts that you have made, and these include suppliers, customers, and other level of government, are going to miss you. They will miss your honesty and sincerity, your ability to show compassion and understanding, your ever-presence to put the township first by protecting and promoting our good name. We will miss your laugh, your long-winded stories, the hunt for the deer, the turkeys and the ducks, and other game, and that fish that got away. I will miss your beautiful Township of Haldimand statement that you use every time you introduce yourself to a new group. I will also miss our quiet talks about life experiences. I wish you and all the best and look forward to accepting your invitation to join you for an afternoon fishing. God bless and to you and your family.
Check the thickness of
You are?
Next, I'd like to call upon Jamie Simmons, representing Kim Rudd, our Member of Parliament.
Thank you, Chief Mann. I wasn't sure whether to say anything, but Chief Mann opened the door. Apparently there's a technology sort of theme with some of your career, Terry.
Yeah.
So I'll tell the story. A number of, and I won't mention names to protect the innocent. A number of years ago, someone contracted me to come to this place called Haldimand and try to help the council and staff transfer from the old way of doing things like paper and move into technology. So I started running evening courses with the council and staff. After a while, so one of my tasks was to get Terry up on something called email. Well, it went slow. I'll admit it went very slow, especially in Terry's case. And a couple of weeks into it, unnamed individuals came to me and said, well, can we ask you a question? I said, you're not teaching him how to use email, are you? And I said, well, yeah. This one, don't be doing that. You don't want to be telling me that. And I guess since then you've come a long way. And
Took 4 years.
but the other thing, MP Rudd certainly apologizes. She would have liked to have been here today. And I'm really pleased that she's asked me to come and speak on her behalf. The other thing is when I had the certificate done up this morning, I took a bit of liberty. I worked it out in January of '89. It was actually only 29 years and about 4 months. So I figured we'd give him an extra 6 months for good behavior. So on behalf of the Government of Canada, I wish to extend our sincerest congratulations on your retirement and your 30 years of service to the Township of Haldimand. Service like yours is the fabric that binds communities together, and the support of the municipality has made a profound and positive difference in the lives of so many people. And I've had the pleasure over the years on many hats, whether it's Trillium Foundation or on behalf of the federal government to work in Terry. And it's been a career well lived, and I'm sure it's going to be retirement well lived and well fished.
Next, I'd like to call upon Lou Rinaldi, our MPP. Terry, Lou's done a lot of things with the province. He's held a lot of positions, worked in a lot of portfolios. Lucky for you, he hasn't spent a lot of time with the Ministry of Natural Resources. So
Bring a check.
It didn't matter what ministry I was with, okay? He's got my cell number. And, but Terry, I must say, I could take a little extra time. I've known Terry for a long time. I must say, I didn't know you had this many friends. I thought it was me, you, and John today. I'm impressed. My attitude or my expectation towards you has totally changed today. So, hopefully, just so you know. So John talked about 1989, right, when we started here. Well, I had the distinct privilege to know Terry before that, former Brighton Township. He was our building inspector, bylaw officer, jack of all trades. And by the way, that was the days before even cell phones. That's right. So that kind of dates us. I mean, I'm 29. I don't know about you. Yeah. Anyways, look, Terry, I won't take very long. First of all, I will apologize because I had another certificate from the Minister of Municipal Affairs today. And it's either in a pure little truck or in my desk in Toronto. It delivers to the wrong address. So I'll make sure it gets to you when we find it. But no, I just want to say, Terry, your commitment to whatever you did, whether it was in the former Brighton Township or here in Haldimand, where you spend most of your municipal days, you were committed. I mean, Terry had a special way that in a quiet way, he called me, he says, Lou, you know, we applied for ABC or whatever it was. Do you know where it is? And he expects me to have an answer right away. And if I didn't call him back within a few hours, he'd call me again to remind me. But no, we had both municipally, Terry, I must say, and then provincially, we had an enormous amount of relationship, respect for each other. And we're going to miss you. I have a certificate too to commemorate this day, and I'll get you the minister's when it comes. But I must say, now that you're retired, there's this thing happening on June the 7th. We could use all the help we can get.
I got a call already.
thank you, Mr. Rinaldi. Next, I'll call upon our County Warden, Mark Lovshin.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Terry, you're hearing it all today, I guess, eh?
Lord can take it.
I'm going to do double duty here. I'd have Arthur come up because I feel like Santa Claus. We've got a few gifts here to give you, and we want you to remember us a little bit. So I know the township and the county both have supplied mementos, and so when you move into the golden plow, you'll have some mementos. But I'm going to read off with the county first. I'll do the county end of it first. It is certainly a pleasure to be here today on this milestone occasion to share my best wishes on behalf of County Council and staff with you here today, Terry. After 30 years plus of public service, your fingerprints have been on most everything. New buildings, heritage sites, to policies, and to lead growth and development within your community. Our CAO, Jennifer Moore, and her staff would like from Northumberland County have many great stories of working together with you and bring important services to residents and businesses. And I know they've truly enjoyed every minute of it that they've had with you and working with you. And I know we're living and miss your sense of humor. I don't know who's going to take that over at that table. They seem to be a revolving door right now with CEOs coming and going. But hopefully we get one that'll be similar to yourself. Outside of office, you've made contributions to the community. You've done volunteer work from coaching children and countless other sports teams. So that's much appreciated. You've certainly left your mark in this beautiful township of Alnwick, Haldimand, and now you're on to a new adventure. And I understand you're taking a trip down to the East Coast, hopefully. You're going to get some time off and do that, and have some good fishing expeditions. But you know what they say? They say that the trouble with retirement is you never get a day off. So you need to work out the kinks and your new schedule. And I'd like to now say that many waters be calm, and may the fish always be hungry. And may you always reflect on the good work that you did here, and know the impact you had on the community. So Terry, can we give Terry a hand? Not because he's leaving, but in celebration of his retirement. Certificate, Terry, on behalf of County Council and as I say, actually it's the whole county that thing distributed from. Thank you very much. And I'm going to cheat a little because I don't know if I was supposed to be here on behalf of a neighboring municipality, but I'm going to be. Haldimand Township, Julie, we had you for a neighbor for many times, and as I say, it's been almost 30 years, and you're probably the only thing in Alnwick Haldimand that stayed the same. We see different councillors, different people come and go, so you've been the mainstay. But I know our staff was very appreciative of working with you and having the opportunity to get to know you and so forth. And I know our frontline staff did send a card and just to say thanks that they really got to know you. And I'd also like to, I'm just going to read the certificate I have for you on behalf of the Council of the Township of Hamilton. It is a great pleasure to extend best wishes on your celebration of your retirement for the municipality of Alnwick Haldimand. We appreciate your assistance you provided as the CAO, as our neighboring municipality over the many, many years. And when the need arose, you were always there to volunteer and help out. We congratulate you, Terry, on your undivided attention to your residents of Alnwick Haldimand, and would like to wish you all the best to celebrate this happy occasion. Please accept the certificate as a gift and token of our appreciation and congratulations. Okay? And we do have gifts for you, so don't forget, we didn't have them.
Warden, did you say he was headed to the East Coast this summer?
Yes, I heard he's heading to the East Coast.
Remember, whales are not fish, they're mammals. One of our councillors, Councillor Ray Benz, would come forward and offer some comments.
Thank you, Alan. Everyone that's preceded me has basically said what I was going to say. So I'm going to have to go to plan B. Okay? Terry, you've been with us for about 30 years. And under that time, if I calculate properly, you've served under about 5 different mayors. You've served approximately under 32 different councillors. And Terry, I'm certain that you've gained the respect of most of those. You've gained the respect. Anyway, you and Mark. Don't interrupt my train of thought. But Terry, you've also gained the respect of your staff and the employees of the municipality. But most importantly, I think you've gained the respect of the residents and the taxpayers of our municipality. I think sometimes, Terry, you've worn your heart on your sleeve. And to be going out of your way and to help and provide assistance to anyone that's in our municipality, and sometimes those who are outside of our municipality. So now I'm going to depart from the norm. I was in your office about 3 or 4 days ago, Terry, and you were just bubbling over. You said, "Oh God." He said, "I just got an Orbis 6-weight fly rod and a reel for Kathleen. I said, Terry, is Kathleen going to take up fly fishing? Well, no, but he said it's the best damn trade I've made for a long time. Terry loves to ice fish, eh? And I think it was 1 or 2 Christmases ago that the family seemed fit to give him a gas-powered ice auger. Is that correct, Terry?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
And anyway, Terry, in his exuberance, he dashed right out, and the first piece of ice he come to, he wanted to try this ice auger out. So he went to start the ice auger, and this voice boomed out, Terry, you're not going to find any water there. So Terry, he moved about 10 or 15 feet closer to the center of the pond, and the voice boomed out again, Terry, you're not going to find any water there. So he moved right to the center of the pond, and you guessed it, the same thing. Terry, you're not going to find any water there. Now, Terry's a pretty good Catholic lad, eh? So he looked up like that, and he said, is that God speaking to me? And the voice boomed out, says, no, Terry, it's Chris Curran. And you dummy, you're in center ice in the Haldimand Memorial Arena. We got time for one more? I'm a fisherman too, Terry, and it's like a nice secluded spot to sometimes just sit and meditate and just cast your line out, and you really don't care if you catch anything or not, do you? That's true. But anyway, I think you have a certain rock down on the bay there that sometimes you sit on, and you know, you just sit there for the pleasure of being there. Well, Terry was fishing, and he was after this lunker of a bass that just was about maybe 15 or 20 yards offshore, and so far no good luck. And he caught a few small ones, and he reached in his bait pouch, and he said, "Oh God," he said, "I'm out of bait." So what do you do? He said. So anyway, he looked down, and this water snake was swimming across the surface of the water. And Terry looked really closely, and there was a frog in the snake's mouth. So Terry just reached down and he grabbed the snake right behind the head, and he tried to get the snake to open his mouth, but the snake, that was breakfast, and Terry wasn't going to do that, so he reached in his side pocket, come out with a little bottle of Canadian Club, he took the cap off, poured about half an ounce in the snake's mouth, and voila! He opened his mouth, Terry took the frog, threw the snake back in the lake, was putting the frog on the casting line. Big lunker bass loves frogs, eh? And Terry said, "This is the absolute truth, Ray." He says, "I felt a tap, 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 tap on my pant leg," and he said, "I looked down," and he said, "Ray," he says, "there was that snake with another frog."
Oh, cute.
I have a very good Irish friend, and he has
Funny.
He has a wonderful statement. He said, "Do all fishermen lie, or do all liars fish?"
Yeah.
So while you're contemplating that, I'm just going to give this to you. Be very careful when you open that. Don't impale yourself. Show the audience here basically what's in the box. It's nothing embarrassing. It's no underwear or anything like that. It could be a frog, but maybe not. So you want to be careful. Now those are owner hooks.
Look at that, that's nice.
You take that out.
Oh.
So getting back to this liars fish and fishermen lie, Terry, if you catch a fish on that plug, you never have to lie.
Thank you, Councillor Benz. Terry's paved the way for the township to move ahead, and the reins have been handed over to someone I think is very qualified. I'd like to call upon Robin Van de Moosdijk, our new CAO clerk in the township, to say a few words.
We can't hear you. Speak
speak up.
Oh, I'll speak up, yes. I can remember about 16 years ago, and a lot of the stories Miss Jamie Simmons talked about, going through my mind, going, yeah, I can remember those days. Writing out the minutes of the township meetings, 80, 90 pages, and Terry goes, oh, it'll get better, it'll get better. Yeah, it got better when we got laptops, so yeah, I remember those days, Terry.
Yeah.
And also, Terry was really nice when I first started here. He, you know, sort of broke the ice at the council meetings for me. Sitting there beside him, and all of a sudden, he whipped up his leg and put his coat on it, and I'm going, and I had to be sort of professional about this. I'm in my first council meeting, and it's like, Terry, put your leg down. Do you recall doing that and breaking the ice for me?
the only time I did.
I do want to say, Terry, I've went through a lot of hunting and fishing seasons with you.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of discussions back and forth, different ideas. We always come out on top with a fair deal for the township. You're committed, you respect everyone, you've done a good deal by them. Done good for them. And we wish you all the best in your retirement. And I think we have a gift for Terry. If we can't find it, we'll get it to you. Oh, yes, here we go. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Public Works. I finally made it.
You made it to public work.
You forgot the hat.
Can you get it open? It's heavy. Put that. Yeah, we wish you all the best.
Thanks, Robin. Next, I'd like to call upon one of our former mayors, who Terry served under, as he mentioned. Bill Finley, would you please come forward?
Say a few words today. I have to go away before 4:30, so I'll try to get you out of here by that time. Anyways, Terry, it's been a good run, and I'm glad that I was here for most of it, because you certainly were, well, you were one of the best. And I think back years ago, and it was quite a few years ago, about all the activities that we had here. And Terry was always right from the time we talked about it till it was over with, including all the cleanup involved, giving out things that had to be given to different groups. He was totally involved. And, you know, I don't know how he was able to do all the work he did, not only at the office here, but helping us serve the different areas in the township. And this was, you know, Alnwick, Haldimand. It was a fairly large municipality now. And there was a lot of groups, a lot of committees. And we always had a member of council, plus Terry pretty well went to every one of them. So things have changed, but it's, you know, we always try to make changes for the better. And you planned ahead, and you know, I guess you know this already. They put another 25,000 fingerlings in the down there at the Wicked Boat Launch about a week ago. So
Thanks for the tip, Bill.
I give you, you know, what is it, about a year they'll be ready to fish out?
Salmon, yeah.
There you go. Well, these were lake trout. They told me that much. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess I'd better get out of here and let you keep things moving. Ann tells me I talk too much. She's like me, right? Anyways, all the best in the future, and I just hope that you live for a long time.
Thank you, Mayor Finley. Terry, there's been a fair bit of talk about years of service and age and old things, and so maybe it's fitting that we have the chair of the Alnwick Haldimand Heritage Committee with us today, Bob Dean. If Bob would like to come forward.
Hi, Terry. You got your two turkeys? No, we're working on it.
And you're here today, and you haven't got your 2 turkeys.
We're going to Sobeys after.
Terry's always called me his son, so Terry, you're coming up here to help me out.
Okay.
I've got your notes. Here's your notes. Okay.
Nothing on it, Bob.
Yes, he's sharp.
That's the Polish side.
So, as my father, my dad, you've got to get some idea. I've been retired for nearly 20 years, so it's about time he got retired. But this is putting you something like, well, just under 100.
Close to you.
You feel like it.
Some days.
Yeah, and you're pretty fit still.
Well, I try.
You're going to have to, because I understand you're going to get married.
October 13th this year.
Congratulations. And you wonder whether there was a special relationship between us? That's my birthday. So thank you. Yes.
You're not 100 though.
No, hang on. You've got your maths a little bit out. You're my father. I'm the son. Oh, okay. You're looking at notes
Your
again.
notes.
Yeah. Okay. So, as this special relationship, we have many times had breakfast together. Right?
True.
Early in the morning.
Very early.
20, quarter to 10. Yeah.
I thought it was 9:30.
Well, those, we haven't been that early.
Oh, okay.
Has anybody else had breakfast here with Terry? You don't know what you're missing. Hey, Terry. You know what that is?
I think that's sugar.
No, it isn't, sir. Yeah, it's. I tried to get the one out of your desk drawer, but it wasn't there. But what you're missing is pickerel sandwich, cold pickerel sandwich, and you can get addicted to it, can't you?
Oh yeah, it's scrumptious.
It's mad. And you know, I love the way when you opened it and you said, how much salt do you want? Yes, you can take the top of that one. Anyway, this morning I had my normal pickle sandwich, but I sacrificed. Here's the other half.
Hey, it's that on it.
This morning, I thought so, yeah.
Is that lettuce or is that just green mold?
Mold, yeah. Well, you know, he might just eat it, so I suppose I better come clean. Went along to Dominion or whatever it's called, Metro, and see if they got some pickerel. It's catfish. It was farmed.
Oh, is it?
Oh yes, it's farmed.
It's not organic, Bob.
No, not organic, no. Okay. So let me get back to my notes, sorry about that. Okay. Now, in these intimate breakfast sessions, Terry's told me things that you probably don't want me to mention.
No.
Yeah, well, I will.
We weren't too ill.
Well, I will.
In that case, what I'm about to say, you might have some more intimate.
Oh, okay.
So one of the biggest problems that Terry's had over the years, of course, is training politicians. I was trying to work out how many politicians you've had to train over the years.
32.
Mind you, some of them, you know, you get Bill Finley who kind of keeps going for every. He eventually got it. You didn't have to do retraining every 4 years, did you?
He was very professional.
It was, yeah, thank you, Bill. It took some of the load off your shoulders. Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, you did. Anyway, so I was going to include Ray in that, but I suppose he's still around. Oh, there you are. Yeah. Then you've had say 32 politicians.
I think.
You want to rate them?
Rape them?
Rate them.
They're all number one, Bob. It's election year. They're all number one.
Oh, yeah. Well, Gail, when she asked me to say a few words, I promised Gail I'd keep to the honest truth and wouldn't expand any more than Donald Trump does on his Twitter account. So,
Am I fired?
Dad, you'll never be fired. So, said to Gail when she said, "Would you say a few words?" I said to her, "Is the roast?" She went to the rule book that you had told her.
Really?
Yes. Oh, she was good. Oh, she was good. Go to administration. Go to administration. Yes. They're putting together the menu. So I knew it wasn't going to be a roast, so I knew I had to be nice to Terry today.
It's pretty thoughtful.
Yeah, it's about the first time now, isn't it? Yeah, not the first time.
I didn't know catfish was on the menu though.
You have set the bar very high. Your retirement's going to leave an awful big hole here. And I don't know whether your successor's going to be able to meet the standard. We can find out.
She can't.
Well, I don't know. Robin, come February, temperature's minus 20. Are you going to be out there cutting holes in ice and restocking the township pickerel stock? These youngsters are just...
But one thing, Bob, I think I can catch a bigger fish than you.
You're not saying that about Dad. And what about, it's not too bad. Now you go turkey hunting.
Fishing. She loves fishing.
Yeah, but she copped out at minus 20 in the middle of February. So I think we better finish about now, Dad, because you can go out turkey hunting. If you haven't got your 2 turkeys, I was somewhat surprised to see you here today.
My service is up until 10.
But hunting is only up to 7 o'clock this evening.
That's great.
Yeah, so, well, if we can get you away from here by 3, you've got 4 hours. Do you think you can get to in 4 hours?
I only have to go around the corner.
Terry, I've really enjoyed being a volunteer and working with the Heritage Group and having you as the person to come and see and bounce things off. And wish you all the very, very best. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Next, I'd like to call upon the Worship Mark Holmes from Crammy Township. Mark Coombs, sorry. Mark, coming up.
So first of all, thanks for inviting me, Gail, to come say a few words. I first met Terry back in 1998 when I was first on Crammy Council. And we had a joint meeting of the Roads Committee. And you came in along with Bill, and we sat in Jerry's office, who's here. And I remember, some things I remember from a long time ago. But I just remembered your dedication and sincere dedication to the people of Alnwick, Haldimand, and also to the people in Crammy Township, and the fact that we should work together as good neighbors. And you were so sincere about that, it really struck a chord with me. And 20 years later, you're still like that. And I know over all the years, you've been a good friend to Cranby Township. And I can say on behalf of all the councils and the CAOs, they've always respected your opinion and always thought that we worked well together, whether it be on roads or fire or whatever. And I just want to say to everybody here that somebody said earlier that Terry wears his heart on his sleeve as far as his dedication to the people and the residents and the taxpayers. And firsthand, I know that's true. And I really wanted to say that today.
Hear, hear.
We have a saying in Cranby Township that you haven't truly retired until you've got a Hosselton gift. So I want to present this to you. I just want to read it first, Terry. And it says, to Terry Korotki, a good friend to Cranby Township, congratulations on your 30 years of service to the residents of Alnwick, Haldimand, and best wishes on your retirement.
I'd like to call on Mary Margarino to come up on behalf of staff. I think Mary is the longest serving staff member that you've worked with, if I'm not mistaken. Mary?
Well, most of my material has been stolen by other people, so I haven't got as much to say, and mine's not going to be official. So I'm just thinking way back. I was actually here before Terry, so
You documented that.
yeah, that's right. So anyway, so when he first started here, we thought, well, that seems like a good guy, and then we started seeing all these little odd things about him. And he had a lot of idiosyncrasies. And some has already been talked about. For instance, no matter who he's talking to on the phone, 50 times a day, beautiful township of Haldimand at that time, beautiful township of Alnwick, Haldimand. You come out and everybody said, welcome to the beautiful township, over and over and over again. And then the other thing was that if anybody came in, whether he knew them or not, if they said any of these words before they got down to business, he had a big chat. So if they said fish, duck, turkey, hunting, decoys, deer, or poach. Sometimes a half hour would be right in front of my desk, sometimes it would be carried over to his desk. And an hour and a half later they'd come out where they got their signature signed, and that was it. So that was another one. Then at that time I used to type his minutes, and I believe it was Robin who said 80 or 90 pages. Well, then it was like 200 pages. And it was typed. Typewriter. And then you give it to him, it'd take all this time, you give it to him, he'd get out his famous red pen.
Red pen.
Red pen. He's gone through many of them. And he marked this, he marked that, and then you had another 4 hours just to fix it. Then you go back and give it to him, he's got that pen, and you just think, oh my God, if he puts that on paper, he's dead. So then, after that, he sent me to taxes, and Bernadette took over, and Bernadette was there almost as long as us. So anyway, then he got a recorder. Well, anyway, he had quite the time, him and Bernadette. He'd be talking in and to the thing and over again. And no one could figure out what he said unless it was Bernadette. So sometimes Bernadette was away, I had to do it. And you'd be hearing him be saying, and you'd say the same thing. The Township of Alnwick, Haldimand. The Corporation of the Township of Alnwick, Haldimand. The Township of Alnwick, Haldimand. This would be one page about 15 times. And then he'd stop me and go, And then he'd start talking to him, and they'd say, back up, take this word out, put this word in. Corporation of the Township of Alnwick, Haldimand. And then again this, So I said to Bernadette, is he in pain when he talks to me? It doesn't sound good. And then it would always come to, I'd have to go and I'd say, will I wait for Bernadette to come back, or can you tell me what the heck you're saying? Well, it's just plain. I said, no, it's not plain, it's the corporation. So I tell you, I was so glad to get over the taxes and not do that. Bernadette, for some reason, seemed to, well, Bernadette's a little different. She's my good friend, so I don't mind you tell her. Terry's a little different. Some people in my family, maybe I've been told myself might be a little different.
A little bit.
Yeah, so anyway, so then I got over in taxes, so I didn't have that. But I'd still be doing things for Terry. So you would hear him sometimes over there, he'd be saying, Bernie, Bernie, and I don't know where Bernie is. And then next thing, Bernie, Bernie, and then he'd come out, where's Bernie? Like, I don't know where she is. So the one day, when we used to have the washroom where the council chambers just up from there. So anyway, I'm in there one day, and this big knock comes on the door. Mary, Mary, are you in there? And I thought, is it God come to get me? I said, what? He said, what are you doing? Yes, and I said, and this is out in the hallway, I don't know who else. And I said, what do you want? I need you. I said, well, I'll be a minute. Hurry up, I need you now. Do you remember that? Oh, yes, I remember that. Then the other thing was, we were doing some clearing up the one time, and so he said, well, okay, yeah, I got some paperwork and that he can get rid of. Well, he came out, I don't know how big, it was bigger than this desk. It was notes. They were little Post-it notes, little square, little squiggly pieces of paper. And they were dated like, 5-10 years before. And they'd have things on it like turkey. What is that? And then he'd have shotgun shells. And then he'd say, call the ministry. And then it would say, bread, milk, decoys. So I said, what are you doing? Well, I keep everything. I said, well, this doesn't make any sense. Well, I keep everything. So I don't know where that ever went. Maybe Kathleen's got it online. So anyways, that was another one of his things. And then he used to like to, and he did this to my granddaughter, who's 8 now. You know what you did. And he did it to, like, you get people in that didn't know him, because after you got to know him, you thought, well, he could do anything. Or say anything. And so somebody would say to him, and he said to my little granddaughter, he was sitting there talking to her, and then he spun his leg around. Well, her eyes almost popped out. He enjoyed it thoroughly. But he'd do that someone would say, oh, have you hurt the leg? And he'd go, and he'd spin it around. And I didn't know what we're going to say now, right? Didn't know what to say. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking, he's doing that. He just loves to do it. And then it would be through hunting and fishing. I don't know, I think the whole year has something you can kill, doesn't it? So he would, and then have people come in and say, oh yeah, no, Terry's not back for 2 days. Oh, what's he out shooting? I said, God only knows, if he's shooting or fishing or something, but So anyways, then he'd come back and he'd be saying to us, well, he said about the ducks one time, I don't know, can't seem to get those ducks, can't seem to get those ducks. So then he comes the next time and he said, I kind of got something that lets me hit these ducks. He said, they're flying up there, and I'm going, Mary, Bernadette. Well, I don't think he ever really did that. And then he'd say, he would say he was deer hunting. I said, well, did he get deer? Well, there was 2 deer. Oh, that's good. Well, one of the kids got it. Oh, well, my friend got it. And I said, well, what'd you get? Well, I didn't really get anything. And then same as he'd be out, he went out to Aaron's father's hunting. I don't know, was that turkey, deer, or what was it? I have no idea.
Deer.
Something that moved. Anyway. So anyways, he comes back the next day. Well, the only thing he got, his brand new truck hit a tree. How can you do that when you're hunting? Do you drive your truck and shoot out the window? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. So the tree hit you. Okay, yeah. We've had a lot of that. And then, somebody kind of told the story. What was that boat called that you were just in the water with?
Argo.
Argo. So it sinks his auger, and what was that other thing you lost in the bottom one? So anyway, I said to him, I'll have to tell my brother Larry, because my brother Larry is just like him, only he lives in Nova Scotia. So he said, well, tell him, he said, I lost the damn fish. Like the auger was gone, the other thing, the guy's boat could have drowned, police had to come, I lost the damn fish. So anyways, he's not very good at hitting anything, except for children. He never missed there. He's got a bunch of them. lovely kids. They're all tall, I can't quite figure that out. And he's managed to find a lady, Kathleen, who's willing to take him to an island where they can only get there by boat and let him fish and do whatever and stop all this hunting nonsense. So that was pretty hard to find someone like that, so you got a good one there. Now the last thing, and I'll try and, the last thing is he also likes his food, which most people know. So my husband's a pretty good cook, and over the years he has sent food for lunch for Terry. And about a couple of years ago, I came to work one day and he said, oh, I didn't bring the lunch. I said, oh, well, it's too bad, I was going to bring you pork chops. But I said, Keith, my son-in-law, who is also very eccentric, came by and he said, I'm hungry. So Robert gave him the pork chops. Well, he's never been forgiven by Terry. So my daughter was in paying her taxes a couple of weeks ago, and he came on and he said, oh, there you are. Have you got pork chops in your bag? She said, well, I do, but I'm taking, she knew the story. She said, I do, but I'm taking them home to Keith. So I was saying to Robert, I had to speak today. So what Robert has done, so my husband, this is,
That's not a pork chop.
it's not a pork chop, but it's a pig.
Oh.
I couldn't find the stuffy one, as the kids call it. Can you read this?
Terry, chops are in
The lunch fridge.
the lunch fridge.
All cooked, spices and everything from Robert.
Thank
Don't
you.
forget
Aww.
Kathleen to take it home. And, yeah, I'm gonna miss you. You're a great friend, a great worker, dedicated. Also, great boyfriend, I'm sure Kathleen would say. Fiance now, sorry. I didn't get my wedding invite yet. Oh, okay, all right. And a great father and wonderful children. Oh, we didn't for him. That's it.
Thanks, Mary. Next, I'd like to call upon Councillor Sherry Gibson.
Mary, that is going to be a tough act to follow. And I think that speaks really well. All of the positive things that your co-workers have to say about you, Terry, I think speaks to all the really wonderful qualities you have. We first met back in the 90s when we were doing amalgamation meetings. And at that time, you impressed me with your integrity and your commitment to fairness. And I was pleased to work the last 3 years with you. And I think you do much for the residents. I've never heard Terry say a bad word about anyone. And I think that's important after a 32-year career in politics in the municipal world, that he can always find the positive and the humor in every situation. So I'm going to miss your jokes, and I'm not kidding. And I will certainly wish you and Kathleen well, and I think it speaks well too that your family is here today supporting you. So all the best. Kathleen, enjoy the next year, a few long years.
Thank you, Councillor Gibson. Mayor Finley mentioned the fire department, and I know Terry, some of you may know Terry did serve as the fire chief briefly. No, leave that alone. I would like to call on the previous fire chief. I know he's in the back corner of the room there somewhere. Dave Wright, if you could come forward, please.
Actually, there's quite a few of those ex-fire chiefs. Ross Poole, Jimmy, and, well, it couldn't be you. TK, I've broken the red pen. Red pen will never be seen again. It's gone.
Amen.
The turkeys are still there. Every morning I wake and I think, well, I'll hear the shot soon. Nothing. So you better get moving on it. The boys are here. And maybe after this due, you can go up there and really put it to them.
We're getting smarter.
Anyway, good luck, buddy, in your retirement. And I'm sure Kathleen has a long, long list of things you've got to do. And fishing is not on the list. Anyway, have a good life, man. Stay safe.
Thanks, Dave. As you all know, Terry lives in the municipality of Brighton, and I'd like to call upon Mayor Mark Wallace to come forward if I could, please.
Thanks very much, Chief. My goodness, what a wonderful afternoon to have so many wonderful people here to take time to acknowledge the tremendous contributions you've made, Terry. And before I begin, I'd like to say that Councillor Ray Benz, after sitting here and listening to your comments this afternoon, the comedian Jonathan Winters will never be gone so long as you're alive. To MPP Rinaldi, Mayor Logel, Warden Lovshin, to all of the dignitaries that are here this afternoon, to family and friends, it is wonderful to be here to offer a few brief comments on behalf of the municipality of Brighton and its residents. Terry, from the time that you have spent with the Township of Brighton in your career here, the number of years that it has spanned, truly you are a testament to dedication, to integrity, and to service in public service. So congratulations on that. I want to speak just briefly on the Korotki family and your relatives. Your family is highly regarded in our community, and I mean that quite sincerely. Terry is a gentleman and a gentleman. Your character is beyond reproach, and we really hold you in high regard in our community. So we commend you on your career here today. We look forward to you having a long and healthy retirement. And on behalf of the residents of the municipality of Brighton, once again, we say congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Wallace. Terry, I've always known you as the CAO, and I've known you for a good many years. Apparently there's the other side, and that's the planner side. I'm a little confused though. We had a meeting not too long ago, which in effect was a development committee meeting, and we were sat down and reviewed a number of proposed developments in the municipality, which was great. The only thing I was a little concerned about, Terry, as the planner, brought with him a planner. I'd like to call on Ken Herford from Echo View Consulting Services to come forward. Maybe Ken can explain why the township feels they need to hire a planning consultant when you're the planner. That's maybe you've been pulling the wool over the eyes all the time.
I planned it. Yeah, you planned that. Thank you. Good afternoon, Terry. I have a few personal comments, but I also wanted you to know that I bring greetings on behalf of all the other planners that work for municipalities and practice as consultants through Northumberland County. We've known you for a long time. You have been part of the Northumberland Area Planners Group really since we got ourselves organized, and your support and willingness to host meetings and put your comments in as appropriate were most appreciated. You bring a perspective that we often, I think, have to remember to think about, and we've heard about it today, the integrity, the respect for the people that live in the municipality. And I think that's something that we try to use and temper, often as planners, and I know the politicians here probably have heard it from me and from our colleagues, that we're often bringing messages, some of which come from our friends at the province, and rules from conservation authorities and whatever. But Terry teaches us to try to temper that with a respect and a compassion for what the local residents are trying to accomplish, and to try to keep that in our mind. Is it always possible to get to that end goal? Not always, but I think we have to keep that in our thoughts. And I think we all appreciate that has always been one of Terry's highest qualities is to make us take that second thought and reflect upon the wishes of the residents and have the respect for what the people are trying to accomplish. So, on behalf of all the planners in the county, I would really like to extend best wishes. We've heard a lot of stories, and I don't think that I need to trouble everybody with more. You're a man of action. You get out and do things. We know you hunt, you fish, and now there's some travel plans in the works, and it's really exciting to hear that, and your future nuptials. So I'll stop there. And thank you, Terry, and best wishes for the future.
Thanks, Ken. We have another councillor this afternoon to hear from. Councillor Mike Philp. Where's Mike?
Five pages of notes, both sides. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
The first thing is, from one Pollock to another, you got Buddy in town now.
Okay.
Everyone's been speaking to Terry today. I think we've missed the boat entirely. I think we have to speak to Kathleen here. I've got two thoughts that you can carry into retirement, but my wish is for you to have a long and healthy retirement. And I know I've enjoyed mine, and I continue to enjoy mine, and lo and behold, I'm busier now than I ever was, and I'm sure that'll be your case. So, first for you, this is for your bride to consider. 3/4 of the Earth's surface is water, 1/4 is land. It's quite clear that the good Lord intended us to spend triple the amount of time hunting and fishing, and taking care of the lawn comes last. That was Chuck Clark. So be ready for that one. And second, many men go fishing all their lives without knowing that it is not the fish they are after. Henry David Thoreau. You, sir, are not in that company. God bless. Happy retirement.
Thank you, Councillor. I'd next like to call upon Aaron McNichol, treasurer for the township. It's well known that CAOs and treasurers work hand in hand, and I know it. Oh yeah, see Terry sneaking in Aaron's office way too often.
Thanks a lot, everybody. If this was the Christmas party at Alnwick, Haldimand, Terry would be probably doing a 15 or 30-minute dissertation, and Kathleen would probably be like giving him subtle clues to sit back down, because Terry loves to talk. It's an absolute pleasure to be up here, and wishing Terry congratulations on his retirement. He'll be sadly missed for sure. We spent a lot of time together. We did a lot of things, a lot of initiatives. But at the same time, I'm over the moon happy for Terry to move on with his life, his second life with Kathleen and the kids. And I've worked with Terry over the last 7.5 years, fairly closely. He's as honest as the days are long. He's hardworking. He's funny as anything. Everybody knows that. Overall, and everybody's mentioned this, he's a good man. He's one of the best character traded people that I know. I've got a couple stories. I know the last gentleman said that no more stories, but I got a couple stories. Now, I used to work for an accounting firm. Actually, Richard is my former boss, and it was an accounting firm, and it was fairly formalized. So 7 years ago, I came to Alnwick Haldimand, and I see Terry going to the washroom, and he comes out. I went to go into the washroom myself. And there was shade. It was just like he had showered in there. There was shade. There was like he had actually shaved in there and sort of did a little bit of a shower. But a week later, after that, I went into his office, was talking with him. He took out a bag of chips out of his drawer, threw them on his desk, and said, "Have some." Okay, things were getting a little weird, right? But I'm like, I can handle that, so I took a couple chips. But a week after that, I come to his office, talk to him, and you've heard 3 or 4 people already speak to this. He grabbed his leg and pulled it all the way around. I never said a word, but I left and I think, this is a madhouse, right? I mean, he had meetings all the time. He had incredible humor, and he added life to the township, and yeah, you for sure will be sadly missed. On a personal story that I have to tell, Terry and I, we've developed quite a friendship. He's quite an amazing person. But anyway, we went out fishing one night, and there was 2 lures. One was gold and one was silver. And he said, the silver one here, that's the one that catches the fish. He goes, but I'll take the gold one, right? So we got out in a boat, and who was reeling in all the fish, right? It was Terry. So I still think that he actually gave me the wrong lure. So, so I wouldn't catch any fish. But anyway, you'll be sadly missed, Terry, as I mentioned. I had all the best on behalf of myself and all finance staff. And we did get you a couple presents. I don't know if Beth and Mary are somewhere out there. Oh, you want to come? No? So anyway, just so that he doesn't, he will never worry about catching another fish. So I got Here's a card on behalf of Treasury as well, and a nice present. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. We've heard a lot of stories from friends and co-workers, and they're all good. It's always sort of nice to hear from the inside. I'd like to call on Terry's son, Jonathan, to come forward and offer a little insight on
Good afternoon, family and friends. I appreciate you taking the time to celebrate the outstanding career of my father, Terry Korotki. From a young age, I can remember my father instilling in me the fundamental building blocks to become the man I am today. From working on our small hobby farm to playing sports, my father taught me the value of hard work, dedication, communication, and proper ethics. Raising 5 children was not easy for my mother and father, especially 4 rambunctious boys. My sister was an angel in comparison. I remember my father working long hours at the office to provide for us, and coming home to take us to various sports. Throughout the nights and weekends, I'm still convinced to this day he must have went weeks without sleep. Growing up, I can remember countless visits to Dad's office, where I would be astonished of his hard work and dedication. To see someone have such passion for his job is what I strive for with my career. My father has been an exemplary role model for me to follow when one day I become a father and have a family of my own. To this day, he gives me valuable advice and support in life and in business. I appreciate all he has done and will continue to do. My siblings and I are extremely proud and honored to have you as our father. You truly deserve a retirement full of relaxation and enjoyment.
Thank you, Jonathan. Next, I'd like to call on our Deputy Mayor, Dale Lasker. Come forward, please.
The first thing I need to do is thank everyone for coming and honoring Terry. All I did last night was dream all night that people came, but they didn't eat. And there isn't much left for me to say, but there were a few people who couldn't get here, and they want me to read their message. So, although Grit's here, I'm reading hers first. Terry is retiring. Terry announced his retirement almost 2 months ago. Well, good on him, because he cannot be replaced easily. He has been around for so long that perhaps we have almost taken him for granted. Not so. Exceptional fact. Terry is the longest serving municipal employee in the entire province at this point in time. Terry has done an outstanding job for the Township of Alnwick, Haldimand in his 30-year tenure with AH. He began his municipal service in the municipality of Brighton for 3 years and then moved to AH, where he has been for the last 30 years. Exceptional and a testament to the democracy that exists within AH. A positive working environment has to be prevalent for any person to want to remain in their job for that length of time. Terry contributed hugely to that working environment. He cares about the people he represents. He takes the time to listen and respond to their concerns, the concerns of the citizen, even if it takes almost a year, laugh out loud. Terry Korotki has served almost every role within the township. He was personally responsible for establishing the volunteer fire department with AH. He has served as bylaw officer, municipal clerk, planning coordinator, and most recently CAO. We have had to personally deal with 2 serious issues in our township, and we can honestly say that Terry always paid attention and followed through in his role. I am sure I am missing some of his achievements, but his dedication and contribution to this township cannot be underestimated. We will miss you, Terry. We wish you all the best in your retirement. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding this summer. Enjoy your retirement. You deserve it. Sincerely, Britt and Ernie Cole. This next one is from Heather Candler, Omafra. Gail, it is with regret that I cannot attend Terry's retirement party on April 27th. I have a previous engagement. I hope you will extend my sincere congratulations and good wishes to Terry. It has been a pleasure to work with him in my role. He was always open to any economic development initiatives that would net results for Alnwick Haldimand. Please give him my best wishes for rest, relaxation, and retirement. Heather Chandler. To Terry Korotki, the CAO planner of the beautiful township of Haldimand. I knew you were going, and now it's that time. Unfortunately, I am out of the country at this moment, but would have liked to be part of your send-off at the township today. However, I couldn't let you escape without hearing a few words of appreciation and congratulations from me. I have really enjoyed working all these years with you. I know you as one of the hardest working municipal employees that I have come across. I've seen your goodwill and sincere desire to help the residents of the township in all my dealings with you in our planning world. You are known among your planning community as a man of integrity, honesty, warmth, and humor. We will really miss you. So I wish you all the best, every good thing in the future, and the biggest fish in the lake. Sincerely and with a tear, Heather Riley, Senior Planner, Ainley Group, Belleville. We had a few other emails and notes that come in. We're building a binder for Terry, so that's why we wanted you to sign those sheets. If you haven't, please do before you leave. And personally, I wish Terry all the best. And I just keep telling him I love him, so.
Okay, I think that's the end of the special guest, Terry. The rest is up to you.
If you want to get those turkeys, make it quick.
I don't know what to say.
Overwhelmed. I'll help him for a minute. So you get hold of yourself. I didn't bring any Kleenex either. And Sheila emailed me. She couldn't come, and she was very sorry she couldn't come. She had an appointment. So I said, well, maybe that appointment can change, and I pray you can get it changed. Then I get another email from Aunt Jill. I can come now. The doctor changed my appointment. Okay. Then I get another one from her. I'm coming, and Terry's other aunt and uncle are coming. She gave me the names, but I can't remember. And I thought, okay, that's great. Then I get another one from her. She invited friends of yours from Brighton, so they're here too.
Half the town's here. I want to thank everybody for coming today. I truly appreciate it. And Kathleen, you were right. It's tough. I did a lot of memories over the last couple of weeks. I remember the reason for wanting to be a municipal clerk was I think I was 7 years old. Went to the town of Brighton. I had to do a paper on the town of Brighton, or the village of Brighton in those days. And I met a lady that was very helpful and considerate and very warming to me. I was just a young kid, 7 or 8. Her name was Shirley Patterson. She was the municipal clerk for the village of Brighton. And I got in the car to my dad and I said, I want to be what that lady is, a municipal clerk. I was 7 years old. Took 20 years. I started when I was 27. I was told by Brian Donaldson from Municipal Affairs, you are the youngest municipal clerk in the province of Ontario. There was 813 municipalities back then. We're all amalgamations. And I said, really? And he says, yes. And then about 6 to 9 months later, a young lady was younger than I became a municipal clerk for a municipality in 813. I truly enjoyed working for this township. It's been my life.
Yes.
I tell people it's a beautiful township because there's beautiful people in it. There really are special people in this township. You get to meet all kinds of people. Some are nice, some are so not nice, but when they leave, they're nice. You work with a lot of people, you have a lot of memories, counselors, I had great counselors. And working together, and everybody thinks a politician is different, but they're human beings like you and I. They serve their community, they try to seek the best for their municipality, and they volunteer their personal time and sacrifice. And some people don't see that, and they look at, unfortunately, the negative component of government, and more so at municipal level, because it's a one-to-one facing with the ratepayer or the constituent of the municipality. So I've always appreciated the dedication of all councillors. I really did. They all have a big heart. They're committed to their township, their community, trying to do things to better their community, the quality of life for the children, for the seniors, for everyone in the population from 0 to 105. And I truly appreciate it and enjoy striving, always did, to work with those councillors, not only in our township, but like Mark said, in Crammy Township or Hamilton, working together, partnershiping, to make it a better place for everyone to live, to enjoy life. Everybody has their lives, with confusing challenges, health. We all have to deal that with families. But if we can make everybody's life a little bit better, I think it's great for everyone in the long term. That's what I truly believe. As for the people here, I appreciate you coming today, and I really thank you for coming. I go back on memories. I had really some special counselors like Muriel Graham, dedicated and committed. She started as a counselor when she was 73. It's pretty amazing. Went to 84. And I can't remiss the best cook in the township, I'll not deny it, is Jean McBride. He is the best cook, I'll tell you. Homemade meals, potatoes, and pork chops, Mary. Robert's an excellent cook, but Jean's number one. I had the opportunity to staff. I go back, I remember Peter Schwartz and June Schwantz and Rosemary Cromwell and the people that worked over the years, the fire chiefs and public works. I had the opportunity with T.C. McBride, Tom McBride, Don Sage, late Don Sage, and Cam Ward, and now Troy. appreciated all their work, and they too, their commitment to the township and sacrifice is pretty amazing, you know, especially public works. You know, you have, well, people know windstorms, freezing rain, winter conditions, and the public works guys are up 4:30 in the morning and they're out there making the roads safe for people to get to appointments and get to work. And I truly appreciate their dedication and commitment to public works. I really do, for all that they've done for the township and trying to make it better, the roads, and safer for everyone. I really appreciate all the commitment they've had over the years. And fortunately, the only one that's not retired is Troy, and I told him he's got another 17 years. As people know, and it's been stated, the volunteer fire department, it's something that it was my baby, really, when I first started at the township. We didn't have a fire department. We had 5 municipal agreements with 5 different municipalities, and I said to Bill was our read then, I said, this is costing a lot. I think we would create our own fire department. And he actually, I'll never forget the words, Terry, if you think you could do it, go for it, he said. That's what he said. And I said, well, I'll try. And I want to thank the Whiteheads, going back on memory, from Colburn and Harry Greer and Bob Baranskin and the fire marshal for helping me and helping create a team and volunteers, and the commitment that they have is amazing. It just has evolved, and like Bill said, we were born from this one, not stealing, just boring, you know, loaning and getting equipment and training, and everybody in the fire department, other municipalities, were all willing to help us. We didn't have nothing. We didn't have anything. It was tough. It was a challenge, but we did it. It's evolved over the last 30 years to, like somebody said, one of the best volunteer fire departments in the county of Northumberland, and we are comparable to the others, and we're still striving with the new fire hall in Roseneath. Will be an anchor, and it's a commitment to the dedication of those men and women in our fire department, and I think it'll be there. And we partnership with the county of Northumberland, which we truly appreciate, and that's how things evolve, and that'll be a thing of the future, is working together for the common goal for everyone, in the best interest for everyone. So I appreciate the commitment with the county of Northumberland, and the lady that oversees that county, she's a class lady. I think her name's Jennifer Moore. She's a special lady. And counselors have gone through staff. I appreciate the current staff. Mary's been with me 31 years. She says I'm weird. I'm strange, but I love very much. And her and Bernadette. And where's Bernadette?
She has to go.
There to go. Bernie and we were like 2 scorpions in a pit. Every day was a challenge. Bernadette's not here because I can speak about her. Bernadette, I asked her a question and she'd give me the 10 commandments of the answer. I used to say, Bernadette, talk the ear off a dead guy. But she had a heart of gold. She was always there. She gave me total support, personally and professionally. I had challenges personally in my life, and things happen in everyone's life, and she was there for me. She was an anchor, Bernadette, and I truly appreciate that. Wish she was here. And Mary, she was always there, and the hands going and everything. I'm going to miss that. And Beth, we've known each other for years through Jean Kernigan, and a good person. The staff that I have now, Robin, carries the plaque now, not the torch. This woman is very talented, knowledgeable. She knows her stuff, as I told somebody the other day. And I wish her all the best. And Alex, too, is now our new deputy clerk. It's nice not having these titles. And I wish her all of this. A young lady who's very intelligent, committed, dedicated to the township, and I wish her all the best. I still haven't met Rocco the dog, but now that I'm retired, maybe I'll meet Rocco. I like to introduce my family, because to me that's very important. What says? I only have one sister, and I love her very much. And my sons. doesn't look like me, so I very said they're tall. This is the baby, Tyler. His nickname's Teabag. He came over to the hospital the first day. He was laying on the couch. He was squashed against the little pillow, and I said, he looks like a teabag. And the oldest is Jonathan, and Jonathan was always, he was fixing everything. He took everything apart. The phone, the vacuum, he'd say vacuum. I don't know, he was in everything. He was a growing concern, taking things apart. And my son Matthew, he kind of takes after me for the passion for the hunting and fishing. And him and Jonathan work for Jonathan's firm, JCK Construction. My daughter couldn't make it here today. She works for the Toronto Humane Society as a veterinary technician, and she couldn't. And he couldn't make it. He works for the military, and he's in the base in Alberta. But he's coming home. So that's good. And I can't remiss in the Golden Girls. I'll introduce my Aunt Sheila. She's and my other young aunt, Aunt Marie. My other aunt, Aunt Julie. And of course, my best friend Mark, he'll be the man for our wedding in October. And Kathleen's cousin Gerald and Pam McLaughlin, who are newbies to the rural area. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my mother-in-law, Mary Parker. And last but last, my sweet pea Kathleen, who's been there for me every day. Kathleen has an opinion on everything. So